everybody? It's your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the very late rapid reaction. Um, you know, when these things start early, it goes into dinner time, and I have to eat dinner and do other things as well. So, um, I'm probably like 90 minutes late than what it should be, but that's okay. We can still talk about what went down today's Royal Rumble. So we'll start with the women's Royal Rumble. I was very interested to see how this went. Charlotte and Alexa were 1 and 2, and so they started off with this. And what they did was that they played around a little bit, pretending like they were going to do the moves on each other. But that took up most of the 90 seconds until the next one was to come, and that was Kiana James. She came in. Kiana James had a really good night showing, including when number 4 Nia Jax came in. At some point, she picked up Nia Jax and gave her a Samoan drop without any help. So that was really good. Kiana James showing some work there. Ivy Now was 5. Lola Vice was 6. Candice LeRae was 7. Jordan Grace was 8. And this is at the point where Jax and Bliss were on the apron, and she tried to go boot Jax, which she did, but in the process, Jax was kind of putting down Alexa Bliss, and she tried to save her, but Alexa Bliss was eliminated. And she took out her pain on Becky Lynch, who was 9. And they went and did a chop flares themselves, a chop fest. So Ruka was 10, Roxanne Perez was 11, Maxine Dupree was 12, then Natty was 13. You know that was going to happen. Then Becky Lynch threw out Maxine Dupree, Natty threw out Becky Lynch. Leah Morgan was 14. Lash Legend had a great performance. She was 15. You can tell that they really see something in Lash Legend. And it is very interesting how, like, 3 or 4 years ago, because 3 or 4 years ago, you thought Nikita Lyons was going to be like the main one, and Lash Legend was going to be a non-factor. But Lash Legend has become the factor, and Nikita Lyons, can't really stay healthy, things like that. And you wonder if the weight that she's carrying, Nikita Lyons, while it's good for it's good to look at, and it's good for the men. It may not be good for her being an athlete, especially when she's trying to do karate kicks and things like that. The weight can take down. I think she's had torn ACLs in both knees, so that might be the case. I'm not sure, but she might be one that you might see, be released this year. Hopefully not. Hopefully we don't do releases. If the contract runs up, the contract runs up, and they don't renew it. That's better, but hopefully no releases. Speaking of that, before we get back to the Royal Rumble, Ava apparently said that she was not going to renew her contract. Ava, this is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's daughter. I don't know if it's anything to do with. I saw something online where she's dating Tatiana Dumas, who was on season 1 and 2 of LFG. She was dating her, so I'm not sure if that's what this is. This is like her, she's maybe that's a little frowned upon, and she wants to date her because she can see where this goes. Maybe that could be it. Maybe I'm not sure if they released Tatiana Dumas, but maybe they did, and she's like, "Well, no, you're releasing my girlfriend or something else. That can't happen." I don't know what happened. Maybe she was just tired of business. She had her fun. She tried in the ring stuff. She transferred to a backstage role, and it just maybe at this point it's not for her. So I don't know. I would have liked to have seen her, not only do some maybe get some stuff in the ring, but continue on and then really with the legacy because that's what it is. But she wants to go, and that's can be very respectable. So, anyways, Zelina Vega was 16, Raquel Rodriguez was 17, Chelsea Green was 18, Julia 19, Io Sky 20, Asuka 21, and they had the three Asian women who were like from Stardom and all of the Asian women things had them in there. And at one point, like when like they had Io Sky and Julia, um, they had it in there where it's and then they had to wait for Asuka to come down. So they were sitting there doing nothing, just waiting for Asuka to come down so they could do the three-way. Hey, it's you Asian girl. So they didn't need to do that. Rhea Ripley was 22. Bailey was 23. Dixie Jane was 24. Nikki Bella was 25. Lara Valkyria 26. Had no wardrobe issues this year since she was fully covered. Kairi Sane was 28. Beautiful thing, Kairi Sane accidentally took out Asuka, and then Io Sky then pushed out Kairi Sane and everything. So then while they were focused on them as Asuka was pulling Kairi Sane by her ear, number 29, the biggest surprise of the night, Brie Bella. Brie Mom! Oh, the crowd was into it. The crowd was doing the yes chants and everything. It was great to see. It really was great to see. So, good for her. And she, I see some things on Twitter where it may be that she might actually, uh, it actually maybe that she may actually be back, and we could be seeing the Bella Twins enter the tag division, which is something that I think would be good for Brie and Nikki. Get her, because they, have them hold the tag titles for a majority of the year, and then put them on someone new. And 30 was Tiffany Stratton. So what does that mean? There was no Bianca Belair. Some people were talking about maybe Blake Monroe. There was no Blake Monroe. No Trish Stratus, no Kelly Kelly, no female legend, no Lita. So it was very interesting, to see where it is. Who were the final three? Sol Ruka, Morgan, and Tiffany Stratton. By the way, Raquel Rodriguez was eliminated by Liv Morgan, so we'll see where that goes. Raquel has a title shot on Monday against Stephanie Vaquer, and I think she should win that, but we'll wait and see. And they did that thing at one point near towards the end. We got the double Soul Snatcher from Soul onto Tiffany and Liv. She tried to get them both out. They couldn't do it. All three of them were hanging on to the to the ropes trying to skin the cat. You got on the apron. We got a reversal of a snow satchel from Tiffany to Soul, who knocked her out, and then we got the Oblivion from Liv to Tiffany to get her and become the winner of the Royal Rumble. So I thought it was a very entertaining Rumble. Definitely love some of the spots and some of the stories in it, especially the one that involved the tag team, staying with each other, not really turning on each other, and the one that you think didn't turn on each other did, which was the Judgment Day. So really fun Royal Rumble. I gave it 4.25 stars. That was really excellent. That was really cool. Next was AJ Styles versus Gunther, the career match. AJ Styles lost. This was a great match. I gave it 4 stars. This is a good match for, unfortunately, AJ Styles to go out to. And he didn't tap, but he wasn't pinned. He passed out. And it was unfortunate. Gunther wins. Gunther has now killed the career of 3 legendary wrestlers of Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles. And with rumors of WWE wanting them to do that for Brock Lesnar and also Chris Jericho, it could be a very interesting plot point of what they do with Gunther at some point. Because at some point, Gunther would try to retire somebody, and it won't work. But very interesting to see about that. Again, some great stuff from these two guys. Wonderful match for AJ to go out on. You know, there's a lot of talk. A lot of people are thinking, well, he'll be in TNA, or he'll be in AEW, and he'll be wrestling this person, wrestling that person. I'm pretty sure he said that, he's going to retire from professional wrestling. He's not going to wrestle anymore once he retires. Now, could you see him show up in TNA? Sure, he'll show up in TNA, but I don't think he's going to wrestle in TNA. I damn sure don't think he's going to wrestle in AEW. Because I think if he would do that, he would lose the respect of the people in WWE. He would lose the respect of he would lose the respect of the fans, of the WWE fans. Because this was supposed to be your last match. Why are you going to another company? And especially AEW. If AEW, he's really lost respect. If he goes and has one last match at TNA, that's not good. Just they're working together, and that is where he's most known. Is for being the face of TNA. So you could kind of forgive that, but you can't forgive him going to AEW. You just can't forgive him for that. He retired. He should stay retired. I think, in fact, now that Ava has left NXT, I think he would make a great GM for NXT. He said at one point, a couple years ago, that he wanted to be some type of scout or some type of person for WWE once he retired, and he can be a coach down there in NXT. I think he's the perfect person to be coaching them, along with Shawn Michaels and the rest of them. So, we salute you, AJ Styles. What a tremendous career you have, tremendous legacy you have. I hope you don't ruin it by going to AEW, lying to the fans and lying to WWE, and trying to go to this so you can have some quote unquote dream matches with people who are who couldn't hold your jock, and whose dream matches would turn up to be nightmares. So they just does love you. Hope you stay retired. Next was the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Again, this was very nice. I give it 3 3/4 stars. I thought this was a nice match between the three. I thought, again, we had Sami Zayn being undefeated in Saudi Arabia, and Drew McIntyre being undefeated against Sami Zayn. Great story to tell there. Sami put out all the stops, but Drew McIntyre was willing to put out more stops. Threw him powerbomb him through a table. Hit a couple of claymores, 1, 2, 3. You're running Drew McIntyre. Yeah, so Drew McIntyre retains the title, and unfortunately, Sami Zayn does not get the title. More than likely, he will get it next year in Saudi Arabia, I think. And so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, ace. Jesus Christ. And finally, the men's Royal Rumble match. Not many surprises, not many things. Apparently, last night on SmackDown, I missed it. Apparently, they had something pop up where they showed Braun Breaker being the number 1 entrance. So on the pre-show, they had Paul Heyman, kind of Adam Pearce was on the thing set, the pregame show set, and he came up there and he started yelling at I'm pissed about this being a conspiracy. He was going to be at number 2 when Royal Rumble is a random draw. It's a random draw in kayfabe. Of course, he didn't. Adam Pearce wasn't able to make Braun Breaker number 2. So that was just ridiculous. But number 1 was Obafemi. So there was that. Obafemi was 1, Braun Breaker was 2. But Braun Breaker got down. He was attacked by a masked assailant with a hoodie and a mask, and I think more better he was a white guy, because he went up there. You see the skin you saw looked like white skinned. So he did all of the moves, did all of the moves that Seth Rollins would do. A short, super kick to the knees and the stomp, and he jumped the fence. And he threw Braun Breaker into the ring. Braun Breaker was then quickly thrown out of the ring by clothesline out of the ring by Obafemi. So that was easy. So that was something. So and then we had Oba standing by himself until 3. Solo Sikoa came out. Solo Sikoa, 4 was Mysterio, 5 was Rusev, 6 was Matt Cardona. Once again, Obafemi got rid of all of those people until Damian Priest came out. And Damian Priest had some work with him. Javon Evans came out. That moron, Mr. Iguana, came out. And good thing he didn't stay too long. Damian Priest, Trick Williams threw him out. So that was good. She shouldn't even been in the dead. People are going to say Finn Balor wasn't in the Royal Rumble. He could have been in there, but they wanted to fucking do Mr. Iguana. Fuck out of here. With that fucking thing. What? Don't catch me around Asuka. I'm going to burn that fucking doll up. It's ridiculous. Trick Williams was 10, still getting huge spots. He's supposed to be a heel, but I don't know how long it's going to be before they have to turn from babyface. People love to chant whoop that Trick. They love how Trick talks and Trick walks and how Trick acts. So, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Trick Williams and see if they keep him on return on babyface. Cody Rhodes was 11, which was kind of a shock. Very early for Cody Rhodes. 12 was a Grande Americano. 13 was the original Grande Americano, a.k.a. Chad Gable. So they did the whole Spider-Man thing, and they had a fight. Grande went out, and then original Grande came out. 14 was the biggest shot for the men's ones. It said Powerhouse Hobbs. And then it turned into it went away and turned into Royce Keys. Okay. Again, I don't know why he just couldn't have been Royce Hobbs. You don't want to call him Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay. Because you want to own the name. How about Royce Hobbs? Royce is for his son. I don't know what Keys is for. Maybe Alicia Keys, his favorite artist. I'm not sure. But it could have been Royce Hobbs, but no. It could have been Will Hobbs. Instead of Powerhouse Hobbs, it's Will Hobbs. No. They gave him Royce Keys. It's not as stupid as some names that they give people. But I shouldn't say that's stupid because from what I understand, all of the people choose they get to choose their name. They get to choose their name. Like Blake Monroe chose Blake Monroe, not to be Mariah May, but to be Blake Monroe. Who else did? Ricky Saints. He was Ricky Starks. He chose Ricky Saints because he's from New Orleans and I'm not Orleans Saints fan. That's why he's Ricky Saints. So they get to choose their name. So if they like it, that's fine. Austin Theory was 15. Bronson Reed was 16. Back-to-back Vision members. Ilya Dragunov was 17. La Parka from AAA was 18. I had no problem with La Parka because he doesn't have a stupid gimmick. Or it's just stupid. He dances. Okay, fine. That's dance entertainment. I can be down with that. I can be down with wrestling with a fucking lizard in your hand. Fucking moron. 19 was Dragon Lee. 20 was Logan Paul. So then at that point, all three members of the division were in. And then at some point, LA Knight, I think he eliminated Bronson, Lee, and Theory, but left Logan Paul in the ring. Between two was Brock Lesnar. He came out. 3-3 with the Miz, and this was at the point where it was Oba and Brock would stare down. Now they stared down 3 times, and the third time they actually got a little bit involved. Some German suplexes from Brock, a clothesline from Oba Femi. But at some point, Oba Femi did get thrown out by Brock Lesnar, and of course the memes and the jokes are starting that Brock Lesnar, well, he's not going to be able to fight the allegations. And not the allegations, and not the real allegations, but the kayfabe allegations of him, being the downfall of black men. So, 24 was Rey Fenix. And at this point, I was trying to figure out who else was left. I knew Jay was Roman and Orton. So I was trying to figure out if there was going to be any other shockers. There really wasn't. 25 was Jey Uso, and while Jey Uso was coming down to the ring, LA Knight and Cody Rhodes eliminated Brock Lesnar. So that was interesting. So Jey Uso got in the ring. He ran it back, which pissed some people off, which is a good thing. If you idiots with the JDS upset that Jey Uso was going to run it back, you stupid. Roman Reigns was 26. Jacob Fatu was 27. And Roman Reigns at some point he got in the ring. He told Uso to run it back, and Uso said run it back. But Roman Reigns kind of stopped and gave him a punch. But like I said, the family was in there all at the same time. Uso, Reigns, and Fatu. Penta was 28. Orton was 29, and Gunther was 30th. At a point, and so they got down to a final 4, which was Cody Rhodes. When Cody Rhodes got eliminated, he was eliminated by Drew McIntyre, hitting him the thing. I really do think that they're going to do Drew and Cody and Fatu at the triple threat match at the Elimination Chamber, and I think Cody will win back his championship to face the winner of this Royal Rumble. And let's get to that. Final 4 was Paul and Roman, Gunther, and who was the other one? Orton. So Roman eliminated Paul, Gunther eliminated Orton, and then after some trading of sleepers and spears and everything like that, Gunther was thrown out by Roman Reigns, giving Roman the Royal Rumble victory for the 2nd time in his career. Good on him. Now he's going to go on to WrestleMania. I know some people want to see him and CM Punk. Again, like I said, I still think maybe the bigger match is to do Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for a 3rd time, and it's not too soon to see it again. You got to have a 3 match program between these two. So the Royal Rumble was nice. It was a fine Royal Rumble. Again, maybe the lack of some big surprises. Not too much of a story being told in this one. There wasn't a story of, like, the women's story was the story of the teams and then what they were doing to stay together to try to win this. There was none of that in here. There was supposed to be the vision, but that got ended pretty quickly at the beginning of the match. So maybe it was like, it's over for me. You gotta, do it or not. I don't know. Javon Evans, all those things. So I'm not sure. But yeah, Roman Reigns won the Men's Royal Rumble. I gave it 3 3/4 stars as well. So to now go and find my predictions. So I had Roman Reigns to win. That's correct. To win. That is wrong. Drew McIntyre winning. Right. Gunther winning. Correct. So 3-1 there. Now for the extra credit questions. That if I was right, I get a point. If I wasn't, I don't I don't get a loss. So let me see. Let me go here to see. I can't find the. Let's see. Royal Rumble 2026. Uh, they surprisingly have it all the way already up in what's the name? So uh, they have Charlotte Flair here at 59, 49. I don't think that was actually the case with her. I gotta see here. See if I can go back and get some of the. Okay, so the Iron Man for the men was Javon Evans. He was the one that was in there the longest. He was in there at 40 minutes. So that was good. Let's see this. Now let's do the women. Where the hell are the women? Where the hell are the women? Shit. Don't want to know about the membership. Jesus Christ. Sorry this is taking so long. I gotta try to find out like the women's and shit. Excuse me. They're not telling me, so I can't find it anywhere. So I just don't know who the women were. But I think I selected it's gonna be Last Legend. I don't think it was Last Legend because she came out too late. It was either Charlotte Flair or Sol Ruka, one of the two. So, and of course there was no Chris Jericho. So, no losses. My record 3-1 stays great. So, yeah, there you have it. All right, guys. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys feel in the comment section about this Royal Rumble, and let me know down in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.